A strong and independent woman is something to behold. She pays her own bills, buys her own things, and she doesn't let a man affect her stability or self-confidence. She is a soul-rich woman. Are you ready to be rich doing what you love? Be on purpose and in control of your life again. At For Women Who Love the F Word podcast, we will be openly talking about getting more clients online, getting recognition as the leader and female entrepreneur, and also the F word, being fabulous, having freedom, and financial independence. It's time to own and love the F word. Welcome to the show.
Hi, it's Imelda, and in this episode, I would like to share with you my success in launching my podcast. The podcast impacted my life instantly. I truly agree that a podcast is not only about building online presence, but most importantly, online credibility. I realized that my message impacted more people than I ever thought it could. I even have a friend in high school who commented on my post that I am her idol. This is coming from a lady whom I have never been communicating with for the past 30 years or so. My son appreciated my efforts to launch a podcast and touch people, and he told me that he cried with joy. That is something I never thought that would happen. I am able to connect with my family on a deeper level. My husband showed me more support. I got him asking how he could share my podcast link. That itself is a big win for me. One friend also mentioned that what I am doing is a big thing for my generation. And some friends are now showing interest in buying my book. On the first day I attended the workshop, I actually told Janisha that I wanted to write a book. So, she offered that I can do a podcast instead because it is faster to reach more people and the voice is more powerful than a book. To which I agreed. And the episodes can be converted into a book later on anyway. So it is like hitting two birds with one stone. Because I have been attending a lot of seminars, I then thought that I have to control my spending. So it was a money issue. But when I realized that I can actually earn more the moment I have built my reputation online, by showing up and having my voice heard, people will come to know who I am and what I stand for. And people will support me. More people will come to my coffee shop. More people will patronize my book. More people would like to invest with me because they can see how authentic I am. My concern was also that I had to extend my stay in Singapore and rebook my flight. And what's more frightening was to get my husband to approve all of this because this would entail additional expenses, right? However, after I explained what the plan is, he agreed and I was very happy. When he was able to listen to my first few episodes, he was convinced that what we did was the right thing. I am not a podcast person, so I thought I could not do it. But when Janisha explained to me that they will support and guide me, my worry disappeared. Having the whole soul-rich woman team behind me melted my fears away. Initially, I had difficulty writing and composing my message, and I was not relaxed when I started recording. I was running out of air and my mouth was drying up because Joanne was there right beside me to cheer me up, I successfully did it. and the next few episodes were a lot easier than the first. Another issue I had was time. I had been away from Zamboanga for too long, and there is a big event which I was preparing for. But because I believed in the importance of doing the podcast and in the urgency of doing it, now rather than later, I was able to make arrangements so that things could be done even if I do not have to be in Zamboanga physically. On top of all those issues, I had fears on the outcome of my podcast. How will people react? Will they be inspired or will I be criticized? And all those mind freaks that we normally face when doing something new for the first time. But because I sincerely believe that I need to get my message across to people who would need to listen to it, I took action in spite of fear. I was also feeling anxious about sharing my story and being truthful about what I feel deep inside. But realizing that this is me and people hearing my story deserve a real deal, I still went ahead with everything that is coming from my heart. The understanding that my intention is to share and inspire and not to criticize or destroy other people's lives gave me the courage to go out and do the podcast. Recording the episodes also requires a lot of time and effort. I got tired. I had to use up a lot of energy thinking of what to say and sitting on the table typing for hours. And there were a few things I had to set aside just to give priority to my podcast. But I now see this to be a big lesson in life. If you want something big and impactful, you have to allocate big energy and big focus to make it happen, and you have to set it as your number one priority. Having launched the podcast, I'm also anxious about what will happen next. Then, by going back to understanding my intentions and my goal, that this will be about doing something positive for me and for others, and by knowing that I have a strong team of soul-rich women to support me, my worries are tamed and controlled. Also, I just got a message from a friend saying that I have to continue sharing my message as the world needs more people like me who would come out and share their messages as well. So, having your family and friends to support you in what you are doing and giving you the understanding of the journey you wish to embark on is already a great encouragement. Not to mention that having the Soul Rich Woman team is your rocket launcher. Knowing that you have people behind you who will look after your best interest and following up on you so that you don't fall to your little voices that keeps ringing inside your head is a great support. Therefore, I believe that no matter how good you think you are, you need a team who can support and guide you, but most importantly, people who know what they are doing. The Soul Rich Woman team makes me feel I am family and that they have my back every step of the way. Having launched my podcast in less than 24 hours boosted my confidence to a higher level. I feel that I just won over my fear of doing something new and being judged for my result. I felt that I am also blessed to have crossed paths with Soul Rich Woman team who could help me make the podcast possible. launching the podcast made me happy. Happy because I was able to share my message so instantly to the public without having to wait for my book to be completed. I also believe that exposure is magic. Now that I have exposed my story, I realized that people are actually appreciating what I did. Had I continued to hide under my fears, I would not have touched people's hearts, and most importantly, my family's hearts. I have also proven that it is never too late to learn something new. Even if people have accepted the concept of digital divide, I must try to close the gap between me and my children's generation. It surely was a surprise to my sons that I'm also into podcasting. I won't be surprised if they were shocked because I myself felt that way. But having launched the podcast, it gave me a lot of relief and a truly good feeling that I won over my fears and I succeeded in my efforts to grow myself day by day. When we raise our voices together, the words woman power become more than just a phrase. It becomes a movement. Know that your dreams are valid, and on your path, you're never denied, only directed. It's time to get your voice heard. Do check out my link in the show notes on how you can become an instant podcast leader like me.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so honored that we are connected, and I hope that I can continue to serve you as you build your dreams. And if you love this episode, and I hope that you did, rate it 5 stars. Give us that glowing review because it will help more women around the world finding the Soul Rich Woman podcast. Alone you are strong, together we are unstoppable. Now share this with every woman who needs it because this is how we are changing the world, one woman at a time. As always, get out of your comfort zone and go towards the dreams you've always wanted to achieve. For women who love the F word, being fabulous, having freedom, and financial independence. My dear soul rich woman, sending you my love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.